Hello everyone, welcome to UPSC EPFO 2021. Today is the second lecture on MCQ revision series and the topic for today is fundamental rights. This series will help you to revise all your basic concepts. So let's begin. So the first question is, which of the following statement is incorrect regarding the fundamental rights? So they have asked us to find out the incorrect statement. Option 1, the fundamental rights are meant for promoting the ideal of political democracy. They are defended and guaranteed by the Supreme Court. Their application can be restricted while martial law is in force, and they are permanent in nature. So the incorrect statement is they are permanent in nature. That is the fourth statement. So actually the fundamental rights are not permanent in nature. They can be taken only by a constitutional amendment. Okay, and this amendment of the constitution is given in article 368 of the constitution. 368 provides various means by which a constitution can be amended. So it can be either by a simple majority or a special majority plus ratification by half of the states. And you also need to know that 20 and moreover during a national emergency the 6 freedoms under article 19 can only be taken under an external emergency. Okay, so you got to know the various concepts regarding the fundamental rights. So first you got to know that they are meant for promoting the ideal of political democracy. That directive principles of state policy is used for promoting the economic democracy, and the political democracy is promoted by the fundamental rights. Next option was they are defended, they are guaranteed. So if your fundamental rights are violated, you can go to the Supreme Court, and their application can be restricted while martial law is in force. So I told you this is like during a national emergency. 19 can be taken only during external, and 20 and 21 cannot be taken. And the last option we discussed, they are permanent. They are not permanent in nature. Article 368 provides the method in which the fundamental rights can be amended, and that is through a constitutional amendment. So UPSC EPFO 2021 has launched 2 courses. One is a comprehensive course and the other is UPSC EPFO course, which provides industrial relations, labor laws, social securities. These courses can be seen on our website, which is educate247.com, and we are also offering a discount of 40%. To avail this discount, use the coupon code EPFO. This will help you in revising all your concepts in learning, which will helpful for your upcoming exam. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is incorrectly matched? So here the options are Fundamental Rights Irish Constitution, Concurrent List Australian Constitution, Federation with a strong centre Canadian Constitution, and Parliamentary form of government is British. So the incorrect statement is Fundamental Rights Irish Constitution. So we know that fundamental rights has been borrowed from the Constitution of USA, and Articles 12 to 35 Part 3 of the Constitution deals with fundamental rights, and these are regarded as the Magna Carta of the Indian Constitution. Some of the other features which are borrowed are as follows. Procedure established by law is borrowed from the Japanese Constitution. Republic and ideals of liberty, equality and fraternity is borrowed from the French Constitution. Procedure of amendment of the Constitution has been borrowed by the African Constitution. So we got to know each of the features which is borrowed from other constitution which will be able to match the correct statement. The next question is prohibition in trafficking in human being and forced labor is dealt under which article of the constitution? Is it 23, 25, 17 or 19? The correct answer is 23. 23 prohibits the traffic in human beings, begar and other forms of forced labor. And you can see as this article 23 is available to both citizens and non-citizens. There are certain fundamental rights which are available only to citizens, but this, that is example, is 19. Now 23, you can see it is available both to citizens and non-citizens. It protects the individual not only against the state but also against a private person. And 23 and 24, so 23 and 24, it comes under right against exploitation. So you saw 23 and 24, these two come under right against exploitation. So let us see the options which are given. You need to know those also in order to find which is which. So 25 deals with right to religion, 17 deals with against untouchability, and 19 deals with 6 freedoms. We will be seeing about them. Initially there were 7 freedoms, but now it has been 6. Okay, so the next question is writ of mandamus applies to which of the following statement? Okay, so is it, let us see the option. So we got to know what is the actual meaning of writ of mandamus. Is it to set the wrongly detained person free? That is option 1. Okay, or order issued by a higher court to a lower court to prevent the latter from exceeding its jurisdiction. Command issued by a court to a public official asking him to perform his official duties. The fourth statement, order issued by a court to inquire into the legality of a claim of a person to a public office. So the writ of mandamus means command issued by a court to a public official asking him to perform his official duties. So you know that if like a command is given by a higher court to a public body or a corporation to do your work which is not being done, and moreover the writ of mandamus, it cannot be issued against a private individual or to enforce departmental instruction that does not possess a statutory. Means if it is just a mere departmental instruction or a contractual obligation, it is not applicable. Moreover, writ of mandamus cannot be also issued against the President of India or the governors, against the Chief Justice of a High Court acting in judicial capacity. So there are various writs. So let us go to the options and see what do the other options imply. To set a wrongly detained person free, this is the writ of habeas corpus. So if a person has been wrongly detained, in order to set that person free, the writ of habeas corpus is applicable. The second option is order issued by a higher court to a lower court to prevent the latter from exceeding the jurisdiction. So this is prohibition, to prevent. So is to prohibit in order not to exceed your jurisdiction. And the third option, as you saw, is mandamus, and the fourth option is quo warranto. What does quo warranto state? It simply states that it is issued by a court to inquire into the legality of claim of a person to a public office. The writ can be issued only in case of a substantial public office of a permanent character created by a statute or by constitution. So unlike the other writs, this can be sought by any interested person and not necessarily by the aggrieved. So all the other options by aggrieved person, this quo warranto by any person. The next question is, Article 19 guarantees to all citizens 6 rights. Which of the following is included in Article 19? Okay, so it says that 19 has 6 rights, and which of the 6 are included? Is it right to freedom of speech and expression, right to assemble peacefully, right to form associations, right to move freely throughout the territory of India? So the answer to this question is all of the above. So originally 19 had 7 freedoms. Right to property was one of the freedom, but now by the 44th amendment it has been made as a legal right. So right to property, which was under 19, is no more under 19. It has been made as a separate right by the amendment of 44th Act. And the others, this like right to freedom of speech, right to assemble, right to form association, they are applicable only to citizens. Okay, so you saw 23 was applicable to citizens and non-citizens, but 19 only to citizens, and moreover to not to foreigners or legal persons like company or corporations. And the state can impose reasonable restrictions like freedom of speech and expression restrictions, like which hampers the security, defamation. If it hampers all these, okay, then the state can impose reasonable restrictions only on the grounds mentioned in Article 19 itself and not any other grounds. Thank you and happy learning.